Have you ever wondered about the history of a country as remote, yet so significant, as the Marshall Islands? Nestled in the vast Pacific Ocean, the Marshall Islands are a small but vibrant nation, with a history as deep as the sea that surrounds it. Runit Island is one of them, but stay tuned to find out more. The story of the Marshall Islands begins thousands of years ago, with the arrival of the Micronesian navigators. These seafaring people, renowned for their incredible navigational skills, settled on the islands, creating a thriving society that mastered the art of living in harmony with the ocean. They developed complex maps made from sticks, a testament to their deep understanding of the sea and the sky. For centuries, the Marshallese lived in relative isolation until the arrival of the Europeans in the 16th century. The islands changed hands several times over the centuries, falling under Spanish, German and Japanese control until the end of the Second World War. In the aftermath of the war, the islands were placed under the administration of the United States as part of the United Nations Trust Territory of the Pacific Islands. The Marshallese people, however, never lost sight of their desire for autonomy. After years of negotiations, the Marshall Islands finally achieved full sovereignty in 1986, marking the birth of an island nation. This sovereignty also marked the beginning of significant infrastructure developments, such as the establishment of the Maduro water treatment plant, designed to provide clean water to the island residents. Now, let's talk about the Marshall Islands in terms of location, size and population. The country is located near the equator in the Pacific Ocean, and it's composed of 29 coral atolls, spread over an area of about 1 million square kilometers. However, the total land area is just about 181 square kilometers, making it one of the smallest nations in the world. Despite its small size, the Marshall Islands are home to over 53,000 people who speak two official languages, Marshallese and English. A tiny nation with a rich history, the Marshall Islands have a tale that is both inspiring and tragic. As we delve further into the story of the Marshall Islands, we'll reveal a tale of resilience, survival, independence, and modern progress, evidenced by landmarks like the Maduro water treatment plant, against incredible odds. The history of the Marshall Islands is forever tainted by the specter of nuclear testing. In the aftermath of World War II, the United States conducted a series of tests in this remote Pacific paradise. The detonations, equivalent to over 7,000 Hiroshima bombs, forever scarred the landscape and the lives of its inhabitants. In the years that followed, the islands bore witness to an unimaginable horror. The fallout from these tests led to a dramatic increase in radiation-related illnesses. Women started giving birth to what are often referred to as jelly babies, infants with severe deformities, a heartbreaking consequence of the radiation exposure. But the nuclear legacy does not end there. On one of these islands, Runit Island, lies a concrete dome, a relic of the Cold War era. This dome, often referred to as the tomb, houses tons of radioactive debris, a chilling reminder of the nuclear tests. But it's more than just a monument to a darker time. The dome is deteriorating, and the threat of a radioactive leak is a ticking time bomb, posing a significant danger to the islanders and the surrounding ecosystem. The question of how to manage this looming crisis is a complex one. The destruction of the dome is not a practical solution, as it would expose the islanders to further radiation. In my opinion, these are some suggestions on how it can be managed. To destroy the Plutonium Dome in the South Pacific without harming people around it, several methods can be considered. Remote-controlled robots. Using remote-controlled robots equipped with cutting tools and manipulators to dismantle the dome from a safe distance. Explosives. Controlled detonation of explosives strategically placed to break down the dome while minimizing the spread of radioactive materials. Chemical solutions. Chemical solutions can be used to dissolve or neutralize the plutonium, rendering it less harmful before dismantling the dome. Encapsulation. The dome could be encapsulated in a material that prevents the leakage of radioactive materials, such as concrete or a specialized sealant. Sealing the plutonium dome permanently. If destroying the plutonium dome is not feasible, sealing it permanently to prevent toxic waste leakage is another option. This can be achieved through encasement. The dome can be encased in a thick layer of concrete or other materials that prevent any leaks from occurring. Containment structures. Building additional containment structures around the dome to further isolate and prevent any potential leaks. Monitoring systems. implementing advanced monitoring systems to detect any signs of leakage promptly and take necessary actions to contain it. The ideal solution would involve safely removing and disposing of the waste. Yet this process is fraught with logistical challenges and potential risks. The people of the Marshall Islands have borne the brunt of these nuclear tests. Yet despite promises and treaties, the question of compensation remains a contentious issue. Many islanders have yet to receive adequate restitution for the suffering they've endured. The nuclear legacy of the Marshall Islands is a haunting reminder of the devastating power of nuclear technology. It serves as a stark warning of the dire consequences when we manipulate forces beyond our control. As we move forward, it is essential to remember the lessons of the past and strive to ensure that such tragedies are never repeated. The Marshall Islands are a low-lying atoll nation, making them particularly vulnerable to the impacts of climate change. Rising sea levels, intensified storm surges, and coral bleaching events have become a pressing concern for the Marshallese. As we speak, some islanders are being relocated to higher grounds or even other countries, a move that is as heartbreaking as it is necessary. The question of sustenance is another pressing issue. With no rivers or lakes, fresh water is a luxury that comes from rain catchment systems. Food, on the other hand, is a mix of locally grown produce and imported goods. Staples like breadfruit, taro, and fish are complemented by canned goods and rice. But this comes at a cost, as the expense of importing food to these remote islands is significantly high. In the midst of these challenges, the Salvation Army has been a beacon of hope. They've been instrumental in providing essential services like education and food programs, particularly in Jabor. Also, solar panels are increasingly being used to harness the abundant sunshine for electricity, a move that not only reduces reliance on imported fuel, but also contributes to the fight against climate change. Now let's talk about connectivity. While the islands are remote, they're not cut off from the world. Yes, there's internet and even a TV station, though service can be spotty at times. But hey, who wouldn't trade a little buffering for a life surrounded by the azure waters of the Pacific? In terms of initiatives, there are several ongoing projects aimed at improving life on the islands. These range from infrastructure developments to educational programs, each one a small step towards a brighter future. However, it's important to note that progress is slow and often hampered by limited resources and the ever-looming threat of climate change. Despite these challenges, the spirit of the Marshallese people remains unbroken. They continue to live, laugh, and love amidst adversity. They continue to navigate the choppy waters of their existence, much like their ancestors who were known as the best navigators in the Pacific. They continue to hold on to their traditions, their language, their way of life, because in the end, these are the things that define them. Despite the challenges, the Marshallese culture remains vibrant and the people continue to thrive. At the heart of their culture are their unrivaled navigation skills. Marshallese navigators, using stick maps, have journeyed across the vast Pacific for centuries, guided by the currents, stars, and waves. This knowledge, handed down through generations, is a testament to their resilience and adaptability. The mainstay of the Marshallese people is a blend of subsistence farming, fishing, and the cultivation of coconuts. These coconuts, a symbol of life and sustenance, are not just consumed. They are also preserved and sold, their husks used as fuel for fires, contributing to a circular economy. Education is highly valued, with schools in places like Jabor offering feeding programs to ensure children are well nourished for learning. The governance structure of the islands is a mix of traditional and modern systems, with a democratic government that uses the United States dollar as its currency. Despite a modest gross domestic product, the spirit of the Marshallese people remains unbroken. And amidst the azure waters and golden beaches, tourism is slowly but surely gaining traction. Access to the islands is facilitated by an airport, a gateway that connects this Pacific gem to the rest of the world. Food on the islands is a tantalizing mix of local and international flavors. Coconut, breadfruit, and seafood are staples, while imported foods are also enjoyed. The island's cuisine is a reflection of its people, diverse, vibrant, and full of life. The Marshallese people, with their rich culture and indomitable spirit, are the true treasure of the Marshall Islands. The story of the Marshall Islands is a story of resilience and survival. This archipelago, with its remarkable history, its nuclear legacy, and its vibrant culture, faces challenges from climate change to nuclear contamination. They continue to navigate these challenges with tenacity and courage, much like the skilled navigators they've been for centuries. This is not just their story, but ours too. It's a stark reminder of how our actions impact the world and its people. It's a call for awareness, a call for action. The challenges faced by the Marshall Islands are not confined to its shores but echo across the globe. In their resilience, we find a lesson for all of us. It's time for us to step up, to make a difference. Thank you for watching. Remember, your awareness and action can make a difference. Like and subscribe for more insightful videos.